All right, guys, we're at it again. I'm here in Las Vegas. We are on the very edge of the city. I mean, that's like the mountain. You can't go any further than that in Las Vegas. You know, it's amazing where you find Porsches every now and then. Look at that thing, it's so cool. Nerd! Get those nerds! Hey guys, JP from Bid Nerds, your daily nerd out on the most interesting cars of the day on Cars and Bids and Bring a Trailer. I just bought the cheapest Porsche 911 SC wide body slant nose Targa in the country. And there she is. Yep, she's gonna need a little love, but you know, it was probably the cheapest one out there. I can almost guarantee it was the cheapest one out there, but she needs a little attention. I don't know how much trouble I just got myself in. Tyler Hoover, I may have just done something stupider than even you. Obviously, she needs a bumper. The bumpers are gone, but whoa, there they are right there. We actually have the front bumper and the lower valance, so that's going to go on there. No door handles, so that's going to be an issue. The interior, the dashboard is all cracked up. The seats are actually in. Had a big ugly wing on there. We took that off. The rear bumpers are just kind of like hanging on. No door handle there either. Yeah, so it needs a few things. And we drained all the fuel out of it. The fuel kind of looked like, well, hot and sour soup. Didn't have too much gunk in it. It was just really old and gummy. Happily, there was no rust in the fuel tank, so they cleaned the fuel lines, they replaced the fuel filters. Of course, we flushed all the oil out of it. Doesn't really seem like it's leaking oil too badly. Maybe some from the push rods, but doesn't seem like it's leaking oil from the crank. Of course, it's leaking a little oil from the valve covers. That's no big deal. Someone replaced the valve covers with the turbo valve covers at some point, so those are the better valve covers. But overall, this thing seems pretty solid. We confirmed that we do believe this is the original engine, original transmission. Got 106,000 miles on it originally. That's good news. When I went out to look at this car, I didn't even think it would have an engine, much less run and drive. When we drove it, the tires were flat spotted, really bad. The tires were cracking. I mean, they were toast. It was dangerous. We probably shouldn't have driven it, but I was just so shocked that it would actually drive. I was like, all right, let's do that. So now we've got brand new rubber. We probably went a little too narrow on the tires. So we're gonna get the new oil in there, new oil filter, flush out that system. Then we gotta replace the shift linkage bushings because the gear shift lever is just sloppy as heck, which is pretty normal for an old 911 like this. The rear shift linkage bushings just disintegrate after 20, 30 years, especially 10 years sitting in the desert not being driven at all. So it's not as bad as we thought. All right, guys, the Targa 911 SC wide body slant nose, that is a mouthful. Yeah, that Targa that we saved from the desert about 3 or 4 weeks ago is done and ready to drive. I'm going to meet my buddy Lee Patet from Patet Images. Hey, look at that big fancy camera that he's got. And Mikey P from God and Porsche of Las Vegas and God and Classic. We're gonna go do a sick photo shoot downtown in downtown Las Vegas. Shout out to my buddy Dwayne Wick over at Wick's Garage, who happened to have a wide body IROC bumper that I just happened to need. The bumper I had really wasn't working on the Targa, and so we needed a wide body one, and he just had one in his garage because it's Wick's Garage. Wick's got everything in there, so he hooked me up. Now I'm going to pick up the car from my buddy Jason at Friday the Rapper. He is the best vinyl rapper in Las Vegas. We came up with a livery design that is just going to blow you away. Wait till you see this car. I'm so excited to show you this car, guys. mean, the great thing is we don't even give a shit how dirty the car is. When you got a car like this, who cares if it's dirty? That just adds to the character, right, Mikey?
That is. What is it that can't have dirty without dirt?
Can't spell dirty without dir. That is the truth. Dirtbag Porsches, Las Vegas.
Get those nerds! Nerds!